Welcome to another episode of Times Square Kung Fu. I am your host, FrankieBalboa, aka the Shogun Supreme, man. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the vibes. What's the vibes today, man? It's a lot going on, man. I'm gonna be comparing the 4K release of Police Story 1 with the Criterion Blu-ray. I'm also gonna be recommending you guys that don't have 4K TVs. I'm gonna recommend low-end TVs, mid-range, and also high-end, and also Blu-ray players. And also in this episode, I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a while, and that's a fight reaction clip, man. So it's gonna be a fun one, man. Let's get into it, all right? So before I move with the episode, some of you guys are probably wondering, wait a minute, this guy's gonna be talking about 4K and HDR, Dolby Vision, and all that jazz, but this video is in 1080p. There's a reason for that. Rent is too high in New York, bro. Everything's expensive, man. Gas, rent, food, dating, bro, it is bad, bro. Me and the homies right now, the way it is, man, we hitting jazz clubs up, man, trying to pick up an old cougar that works for Merrill Lynch, man. You know what I mean? Like, I tell her, yo, my name is Huli from Buenos Aires, man. Sounds exotic and spicy, be adobo on top. You already know, man. I give her my youth, she give me some bread. It's a win-win. But if y'all want me to start being a hoe, man, y'all could donate to my PayPal and Cash App, man. I want to put the link in the description, man. And now on with this broke episode, bro. So what is HDR, man? And I'm just gonna get straight to the point, man. Man, you get more colors, better contrast, and deeper blacks, bro. And when it's done correctly, man, it's one heck of experience, man. You see way more detail than before. And when I first experienced HDR, man, like, at first I'm like, okay, it's probably the TV being extra bright or more saturated. But when I went back to the SDR, and the first one I remember experiencing was Blade Runner, I was like, wait a minute, I see what this is doing. It's just way more vibrant and the colors are not saturated. You see more shadows, you see more layers of colors. Like, I'm not even kidding, man. Like, if you see a rock on the SDR content, you see the gray look to it and some dirt. But on HDR, you see the gray, the brown, the fading of the black dirt, whatever is on it. You see so much detail, especially on clouds, man. It's to the point that it looks like those old Super Nintendo games when they used a technique called parallax scrolling. You see the layers to it, man. It's one heck of an experience, man. It's one of my favorite new things on consumer TVs in a long time. I mean, I haven't been blown away with TV technology since, you know, I first saw 1080p, man. You know, that everybody remembers that jump going from DVDs to SRT TVs all the way to like high definition content, you know? Like, it was like a big leap, man. And then TVs, you know, when plasmas came out, that's when we saw like deep blacks. We didn't see light coming out. But yeah, man, when these films have HDR and Dolby Vision, it's done right, it's one heck of a viewing experience. And one thing you guys need to understand also is, like, do your research before you buy a film, because there's many times where the HDR is not done right. A good example is what happened with Heat that recently came out. The HDR is bad. And for you guys to avoid situations like that, there's a great YouTube channel called Films at Home, and he always reviews releases between the Blu-ray and the 4K, similar to what I do with Hong Kong films when it comes to transfers. Is if worth the upgrade. Also, this is weird. HDR10, which is usually pushed by Samsung, is free to use. Dolby Vision, they have to license it. So Samsung TVs do not have Dolby Vision, and for some weird reason now LG doesn't have HDR, even though it's free, but they're rivals. So they're going like, nah, we're not doing that. But I'm gonna get more into details about that later. Now, on with Police Story, man, comparing the 4K HDR10 version versus the Criterion one, man. And let's get into it. So when Eureka announced that they're gonna do this trilogy in 4K HDR, man, we lost our minds, man, because a lot of us know the benefits of Dolby Vision and HDR when it's done correctly, man. And like I've mentioned, an abundance of time is one heck of an experience. But also, you know, some studios messed up, like I mentioned as well. So I was being very cautious about it. You know, like the copy that I got from a friend, he ordered it because I usually wait. And I want to see, let me see if they actually killed it or not. And let me tell you guys something, man. They definitely killed it. the increase of contrast, color boost, and just detail, man. It just pops in this, man. This film has never looked this good. At first, I put the Criterion disc and I went with the 4K disc. I was going back and forth and I was like, oh my God, the Criterion disc looks washed out now. The way the yellows pop, I like the skin tones in a lot of scenes. The shadows are deeper, the nature shots, like the grass is more vibrant. And there's a lot of, you know, like a lot of good fidelity in there, the detail, man. So I'm very, very looking forward to what 88 Films is gonna do now with Dragons Forever, because I made a video a few months back on what to expect from their 4K release. So seeing this movie again, man, with, you know, with the HDR, I was losing my mind. I'm like, wow, this thing is so, it just gives me a little bit of extra excitement now, like it's a brand new film now, like it just sticks out. And one thing that sticks out, man, that I'm gonna react to in a second, it's the fight in Dolby Vision, man. Yo, let me tell you, man, I need to grab some water right now so we could set up, I could set up, and because I'm gonna lose my mind, man, because I love this scene, and some of you guys might guess what scene I'm gonna put, man. So I'll be right back. If some of you guys guess the more fight scene, you guys get a cookie. A gluten-free one too, son. Yeah, man. So yeah, this is one of my favorite, you know, fight scenes in the film. And seeing this again in beautiful Dolby Vision, man, I just got super hyped, man. So yo, let me play the clip right now, all right? Because I love this scene right here. All right, so he puts the shorty out the way, man. Yo, my man, let me tell you guys something. This is how it gets down doing Black Friday, bro, in the malls of America, man. This is like a documentary you see right now, and you see Jackie Chan taking these Target rollback prices pretty seriously right there, man. Look at this, man. This is so smooth right there, man. You could have that FUBU gear, man. Yo, you gotta grab shorty like that with the Oshkosh right there. Good counter, good block. Oh my God. Yo, he is ECW, homeboy, B. Let's go, B. That's what I'm talking about, man. Damn, homeboy really wants the exercise machine or whatever the hell that was. All right, yo, my man's getting choked right here. Oh, shorty put in the work, man. Now it's looking like Friday nights in the Olive Garden in Times Square, B, right there. You know what I mean? Yo, hit him with the Gucci purse. Let's go right here, man. We ain't playing. Yo, shorty's in there, yo, my man. That's a ride or die right there, B. You know what I mean? Look at, she's taking blows, bro. They like everybody catch these hands right here. All right? Thing looking like a Yakuza game, my man, throwing everything, man. It's a street fight, man. There's no fair fight right there. Oh, look at them blocks. Look at them backhands. Look at them elbows block. Ooh, baby. Let's fucking go, B. You usually don't curse, but I had to let it loose right there. Let's go. I ain't going down for nobody, man. I'm Brooklyn style, man. You know, never ran, never will, man. 10 toes down, B. Let's go, man. Oh, look at that grab right there. Let's go, B. Let's go right there. My man put him in the shoulder like a freaking dad and his kid in the beach, man. I know what y'all do what I'm talking about. Look at that Tekken wake up right there, man. Yo. I just love this scene so much, man. So good right there. Yo, you get that for pimp slapping me. You can't pimp at Jackie, man. Get the hell out of here, man. So yeah, man, you know this film is filled with mad action, bro. Like, you already know, man. So seeing this again in Dolby Vision, bro, psst, crazy, B. Crack, man. You know what I mean? So now that you guys saw that, you saw the fight clip, the picture comparisons, now I'm on to the buyer's guide on what TV to get, man. I'm doing, you know, like I said, low end, mid range, and high end. All right, man, let's get into it. Man, that scene took it out of me, man. I freaking broke a sweat, man. Seriously, man. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's a fun movie, man. The action is top tier, yeah, you know what I mean? And you want to see this top tier 4K action, here is the low budget entry for this segment of TVs. A lot of people that know me personally know, like, I'm a big TV guy. I just love TVs, period, man. I check the latest technology out. I'm the type of guy that goes to the friend's house and turns settings off and fix the colors. I'm that guy, that's right, man, you know? So, for the TVs, I'm gonna mention all three price ranges and budgets. It's TVs I have personal experience with and people I spoke to, and then some, you know, the way you see people speak about it online. So the first two TVs up for under 500 bucks, and they barely get to 500, is the Hisense QLED and the TCL QLED. Both of them are powered by Google TV. I was shocked when I found out that TCL has a Google TV out, because they were stuck with Roku for a very long time. But you know, Google TV does its thing. It has all the apps you need. It has Netflix built in. It has Apple TV, one of my favorite digital storefronts and rental storefronts too, man. So, you know, Apple kills it. So if you're familiar with the Google TV interface, you're gonna be right at home. And it also has something very important, that has Plex. So all the main apps that you need, both of these TV have it. They handle HDR10 and Dolby Vision with no issues from my experience. The local dimming on these is solid. It's not like, you know, what you get from a high-end one, but by local dimming, I mean, it's just like the blacks look good on this LCD panel compared to what we got in previous years. So you get Dolby Vision, HDR10, gaming's not that bad on it. And for a good size, like these are what, 55-inch? For like 430, we know with tax, 450, 460, and the TCL one, it's like around there with tax. You can't go wrong with these two TVs. They look great. The interface is very intuitive. So for that price range and you guys in a budget, you're good to go, man. Now on to the mid-range TVs. Now for the mid-range segment, I'm recommending TVs under the $1,000 price range. It gets there. And the first two TVs I'm recommending is the Sony X80K and the Sony X85K. Both of them do Dolby Vision HDR, powered by Google TV, but the 85K one does has 120 Hertz. So if you're a big gamer and like playing competitive games, this is a TV for you to get. And the third TV is the LG A1 OLED. Yes, it's an OLED under $1,000 you guys could get at 55-inch. Now about the A2, I don't know too much about it, but the thing I could tell you is, you know, LG has a good reputation amongst gamers and just film people, like film enthusiasts, of the quality of the OLED panels. And one thing about OLED technology is that you're not gonna see any light bleed. You don't have to worry about local dimming. Everything looks like really good. Like the blacks looks so amazing. The colors, it's an experience you gotta see in person, man. Like seriously, like right now, I have an OLED. This is the Sony A00J, and this thing is a beast, man. It's like, it's no joke. But yeah, an OLED in this price range, it's pretty good. One thing to keep in mind, OLED compared to LCD, just putting this out there, is that you are gonna get image retention on OLEDs, and you don't get that on LCD, and people, you know, are afraid of burning. So what is burning is, if you leave an image for like a very long periods of time on the OLED screen and you switch to another content, you're gonna see that a fainted logo, whatever you was watching on the screen. Now, it's not as bad as previous years where people were getting serious burn-ins, but they gotten pretty good with the TVs as of late. Again, I don't know if the TV has that issue like that, but I know OLEDs are prone for image retention. But they gotten pretty good with that, just putting that out there. With LG OS, they have their own thing going on. This TV does Dolby Vision, but doesn't have, for audio, it doesn't have DTS pass-through if you use the eARC. So if you have like a sound bar or home theater system, keep in mind LG does not support DTS pass-through. In order for you to get DTS audio, you have to plug it straight to the receiver. If you use eARC, you're gonna get uncompressed audio. But remember, uncompressed PCM, you still get multi-channel through it. But yeah, just letting you guys know. Now on with the high-end TVs. Now for the high-end section, I'm gonna recommend three TVs. The Sony 80K, the LG Evo C2, and the Sony X80K. And actually, no, the X90K. So many of these numbers. And yeah, you got two OLEDs up in here and one LCD panel. And these two high-end OLEDs, man, image retention is not that bad. It's really hard to burn in these TVs in. Like, they got really good with the tech, and they're super bright. They have Dolby Vision, and all three of these do 120 Hertz. The reason I threw the LCD in here is because, you know, some people want to have a peace of mind and they don't want to worry about burning. Again, it's really hard to do it with these newer TVs. But if you want that peace of mind, go ahead with the Sony LCD. Again, there's a reason why they call this TV the baby OLED, man. The blacks are good, the colors just pop, and it does 120 Hertz, man. So you can't go wrong with these three TVs. Me personally, I'll go with the Sony OLED, but that's just me. But the LG is no joke, man. They got a good reputation with gamers and film enthusiasts, you know what I'm saying? Once again, 120 Hertz, Dolby Vision, and they look beautiful, all three of them, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now with Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray players. It's really a sad state of affairs, man. Let me tell you guys before I get into it. We don't have that many people making Blu-ray players. Like, really, physical media is becoming like really a niche thing. Like, it really is, man, because you don't have Samsung doing it anymore. LG does them here and there, but basically, and Oppo was like the truth, man. They stopped making them. So pretty much your options right now is pretty much Sony, the X800M2, and the Panasonic one, which a lot of enthusiasts love that player. But you know, from my experience with both of them, they're not that bad. I never tried the full perks of the Panasonic one, but from what I've seen with the Sony one, like a lot of people within that I know that have physical media in the Hong Kong, you know, cinema circle, even film fans, they love that player. And especially when they get it, they get the region-free one. Region-free one, official outlets don't sell them. You got to go through a third party, usually through eBay or 220 Electronics in the States, which is heard from a lot of people. They're actually amazing and they got great customer service. I'm gonna put the link to the website on, you know, the description. But yeah, that's pretty much your options. And from people I know that are always dealing with a Sony Blu-ray player, it is no joke. Now, with that said, there's something I have to mention because a lot of people are not aware about this. You believe it or not, when they get their brand new TV and they get a Blu-ray player or even a console, when you plug it in to the HDMI port, some TVs, like all the ports are not Dolby Vision. Yes, this is the thing. Not all the ports are Dolby Vision. And so you need to find which port in your TV is a Dolby Vision one. And on top of that, once you find that port, you need to go into your TV settings. I don't know how TVs are for this year, but I have to do it with my Sony. I have to do it to my friend Sony, people's Samsung TV. I'm gonna mention why I didn't mention Samsung TVs in a very second. And you have to turn this manually on for your games to be in 4K HDR or in Dolby Vision. I highly don't recommend Dolby Vision for games because there's a lot of lag. But you have to manually turn that on. And in most TVs, you gotta go to external device inputs. You click it there and you turn it on manually. And you see a few options there, either for Dolby Vision or for 120 Hertz. But for the one that don't have 120 Hertz, you're only gonna see Dolby Vision and HDR10. So once again, once you plug that in the right port, that's the only way you get Dolby Vision. Because there's many instances I've been to people's places and I'm like, yo, this thing looks washed out. And they have it in the wrong port or they never turned it on. And one of the consoles, the Xbox Series X, does a great job of telling you what's on and what's off in the 4K, in the video settings of the Xbox. So shout out to Microsoft for doing that. And yeah, with that said, I'm about to wrap this video up. There you go, guys, man. The long-awaited 4K video, and what better way to kick it off with Jackie Chan and Police Story, man. I'm telling you, man, if you guys, the Blu-ray officially comes out the 27th, but a lot of people got it early. If you're a big fan of this film, go ahead. It's worth getting it. I highly recommend it. Eureka did one heck of a job. But also like to know, I showed this copy to a few people. I say a total of 4. And one person didn't need for it. He's like, you know, it looks cool, but I'm not rebuying this film again. Because trust me, a lot of us got this movie more than once. This box set, either the Fortune Star box set, the Criterion one, the Eureka one for the artwork. And another person really didn't, you know, like, whatever, I come around to it. It's not really big of a rush. Me personally, I love this franchise and I never seen it look this good, never looked this good. So I'm definitely gonna order this box set, and so is my other friend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Dragons Forever and future 4K releases. Again, if you are a huge fan of this film, you know, when we're fans of something, we're gonna keep buying it to the end of time. But if you feel like it's not worth the upgrade, nothing wrong with that. The Criterion one looks really good as it is. So we're in a good place right now. It gives people options, and the more the better, you know, as long as these films keep getting promoted and pushed. And like I mentioned, there's a reason why I didn't mention Samsung TVs, is because I highly recommend people to have both. The more options, the better. Dolby Vision and HDR10. And the go-to push right now is Dolby Vision. And I already said LG doesn't do HDR10, but they have Dolby Vision. That's the thing people care about. Now, here's something you guys should know. If you have an HDR10 TV only, or even thinking about getting the Samsungs because you like the design or you're a brand loyalist, don't worry about it. You're still gonna get HDR. It's gonna get converted to HDR 10 Plus, and you're still gonna be satisfied. Me personally, I prefer Dolby Vision, and I like the TV to do both. Same thing with the audio aspect. You know, I was gonna get an LG, but once I know they didn't have DTS pass-through, I was like, I don't like that. I'm a big DTS fan, especially DTX-X. It has an extra push to the sound compared to Dolby Atmos. So that's my thing. And like I mentioned on Twitter, and if people know, I cut the audio portion of this video because I feel it wasn't necessary. It was better off to just push the TVs and the picture quality. The audio thing was too technical. I was annoying myself, and I'm like, you know what, nah, I'll save that for another video. But yeah, I hope you guys found the video very informative. I had a lot of fun putting it together. If you guys have any suggestions or anything I miss, again, this is the TVs I mentioned are from my, hands-on experience, from things that I read from other people and people that I know that own these. I looked around. If you have any TV that you recommend, put it in the comment section. And also, here's a tip. You don't have to look at those TVs. You could actually get a high-end TV from last year for the mid-range price. You know what I'm saying? I was not gonna do all that because the video will be too bloated, but just something to look forward to. And plus, Black Friday is almost there. But again, guys, have fun once you get into the tech. Any questions, you could hit me up on Twitter, and until the next one, you already know. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. Peace.